Blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, this is your brother Dan Moses, or say, your Sakodi of TRC, Ghana, coming to you with a continuation of our exposés, Testimony, New World Disorder. With this expose coming to you on the 30th of September 2023, the last day. However, it's being recorded on the 29th of September 2023, Friday, because of the hatred and the terrorism against us by the government of Nana Addo Akufo, the state-sponsored terrorists raised by Mahamudu Bawumia and Nana Addo Akufo. So this expose is coming to us on the 30th of September 2023, the last day, and it's being recorded on the 29th. Before we begin, we want to welcome each other by saying Akwaba, Allen, Sahalen, Shagitam, welcome, Nganjoni, Benvindo, you are welcome, Kuso, Diwo, to San Yusenyo, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mingalaba, Boyeyi, Malamu, Karibu, Ekabo, no, O San de Zua, Enkwange Ena, Mitash, Duburo, Pezaluvat, Bine Ivinit, Barigalut, Vita Iche, Ayubon, Dobridoya, welcome, Estan, Ozut, Walan Aluman, bienvenido, namaste, swagetam, kush, hamadid, baruk, haba, marhaba, huangyong haminida, huangying, nyejeko, anyemime, nyejeko, we zolo novio, mia wezo, akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder, and to expose part 272. Testimony New World Disorder, as we know, is the program through which we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world in these times of global deception, delusion, and willful lies that are made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world. Yet, for the past almost two decades, for 17 years, in their worship of the extremely dangerous U.S. undercover agent Daniel Caesar, Babylon the Great, as he's written of in Revelation 17. These worshippers of Babylon the Great have dealt with humanity by willful lies, deception, and delusion. They hijacked the United Nations, the U.S., America, Ghana, and they have used Ghana and America as global states for advancing of their evil pursuit against the entire human race. 17 years. And we want to be alert on the minds that the evil pursuit for which humanity and the nation of is in current state, whether the COVID medical terrorism against humanity, Russia, Ukraine, all the diversionary tactics that we see going on in America and in Ghana, the ulterior agenda is that evil men who took over the United Nations infiltrated the U.S. government, tribalists of Ghana, Nana Addo Akufo, Mahamudu Bawumia, and their cronies are pursuing what the Bible calls the mark of the beast, 666, to be imposed on the human race, and they are seeking to take over your soul. That is what they have been doing in worship of this extremely dangerous U.S. undercover agent. And in order for them to divert our attention from their evil pursuit, seeking to take over your soul, the destruction on the nations of the nations of the world through wars and the tearing down of innocent life, they are not content with that. States within the United, they have been so comfortable in spite of the problems of humanity. They have chosen to pursue the mark of the beast, and they are shouting terrorism, terror, COVID-19 to taunt us on the mind, to shift our attention from the evil that they are pursuing against the Jew, against the Muslim, against the Christian, against the Rastafarian, against you, the worshipper and non-worship, against the entire human race. But thank God, He has not left us helpless. It is He alone that is worthy of our trust. And therefore, we will trust Him and not trust betrayers of humanity and traitors, tribalists who are seeking after your soul and seeking after your destruction. Therefore, by this same program, we as well get to receive some divine guide, divine direction, divine insight. So we are comforted. Akufo to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. This expose is coming to us on 30th of September 2023, the Lord's Day. Last week, Saturday, the 23rd of September 2023, we have received an expose, two exposes, expose part 270 and 271, with God filling the eyes of traitors within the United, Ban Ki-moon and his cronies within the United who have betrayed humanity with their shameless colluding with forces in America and Ghana, killing, making global killing of the innocent, to the killing of my family members as a game, and using bribery, shameless bribery, to buy the minds of even victims of their killing. When we received when even the exposés were loading up, the United Nations have no shame. The Biden administration, Nana Addo Akufo and his cabinet, they have infiltrated my family in Kumasi, the same family which they have bribed. United Kingdom, hear this. And for their damage control, they were attacking us from Ireland on Friday through Saturday, together with Emmanuel Akufo, whose residence was operated as a secret terror cell in Addo, Dowenya, 2021-2022, for the tearing down of Burkina Faso, leading to Guinea, Mali, tearing down of those nations, and to the eventual total seeking to wreck United Kingdom in the 2022. They colluded with, infiltrated my family, and were using Emmanuel Akufo for their damage control before the expose came to you on the 23rd. But God triumphed over them. This expose part 272 and 273 is intended to respond to the shameless crime covering and damage control by the United Nations and the Biden administration, the government of Nana Addo Akufo. So for what they did in regarding our exposés on September 23rd, last week Saturday, this is our response. Akufo to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. For the past, United Kingdom, Europe, Asia, Australia, and the nations of the world, that's all here in Africa, for almost 17 years. For 17 years, almost 2 decades. Some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world, within the United Nations, turned their backs on humanity and colluded with forces in America, the White House, and tribalists in Ghana. And they betrayed the human race in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent, and made the killing of the innocent on the nations of the world as a global game. They killed on the nations of the world under the guise of war on terror and terrorism. It was so joyous to them, because under global population control, that is okay. When the child is born, population is increased. It is okay with them. From one branch of their so-called United Nations, and from another branch, when people are getting killed, it's controlled. It helps global population, so it's okay with them. Everything is acceptable with them. So they chose the killing of the innocent on the nations of the world as a global game, and they shamelessly, with stakes within America, the Ban Ki-moon's, the Barack Obama's, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden's, the Akufo Addos, Mahamudu Bawumia, the Dan Paris, the Osla Ousus, the Ken Dapas, tribalists of Ghana. They have done this evil at the expense of the blood of Ghanaians and the blood of the innocent on the nations of the world. They pursue their evil to cut short the life of Dr. Busumuru Kofi Annan, the Secretary General of the United Nations. And in covering up their shame, they entered the house of God and killed my Reverend Dr. David Nabemado. They were not content with that and chose to start killing my family members one after the other to get me to leave Ghana in the year 2020. In 5 weeks, they have killed 2 of my family members through medical terrorism. And then after I departed for America, the United Nations, the Biden administration, the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo in 2021-2022 chose to use shameless bribery to my so-called family members in Kumasi, and they have brought the world into and Ghana into an unfortunate situation where Ghana has turned into a state where family members' minds are bought to kill their own family members for paper, for money. This is what has become joy to some within the United Nations, Joe Biden and his administration, the Akufo Addo government. They have done this. They have killed Jerry John Rawlings through medical terrorism shamelessly. They have killed innocents in Ghana indiscriminately, and for 17 years they have hardened themselves in their evil pursuit against humanity and have continued to glory in this shameless betrayal of humanity and heinous hate crimes against the human race. Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. I want to, on this 30th of September 2023, tell the traitors within the United Nations, Joe Biden and his administration, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo and his administration, that humanity is not ignorant of the evil that has been done to Israel and Palestine for generations by same traitors within the United Nations, evil minds in America, and global wicked forces playing Israel and Palestine to get their blood shed for generations. And now they have found Ghana as a substitute to get us killed for global gain, and they are killing us. 17 years they have killed us in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent. However, humanity and the nations of the world, God is just. Therefore, before the beginning of their evil pursuit with this extremely dangerous US undercover agent, God declared the end of this issue from the beginning. So we want to say on the behalf of the human race, say on the behalf of United Nations as an institution, say on the behalf of the noble American people, the Ghanaian people, the precious people of the United Kingdom, Europe, Africa, Australia, and the nations of the world, that God is not dead. Although traitors within the United Nations, bribe payers within the United Nations, traitors within the US government that destroy America, in the pursuit of global agenda. Haters and tribalists in Ghana that destroy the lives of their own people for money. Traitors within families in Ghana that sell their own people over to be killed for money. We want to tell them that it is Ghanaians that were killed. Many have been killed on the nations of the world in their shameless and evil shouts of war on terror and terrorism. And they have killed the innocent. However, God is not dead. God is alive and shall surely bring justice in this issue if the United Nations shall continue to take that evil stand of hatred, that they shall continue to seek to get me killed after they have paid, they have bribed my family members to aid them to kill me. If Joe Biden and his administration, Nana Addo Akufo and his administration, shall continue to make hatred and hate crime as their agenda, to seek to kill me by stepping up to the point of using their terrorists raised in Adankope Dowenya to kill people and to burn them, and to take a stand that they shall come to get me killed. God is not dead, and he declared the end of this issue from the beginning, and it shall not be otherwise. The United Nations, the US government, Nana Addo Akufo and his administration, we tell them that they must ensure justice, or the just God who created the heavens and the earth shall bring justice, and their eyes shall behold it, and they cannot do anything about it. This undercover agent, Danielle Caesar, shall not get away with her evils that has been done against my family, against Reverend Dr. David Nabemado, against the precious blood of Ghana, against the blood of the Haitian president. Total justice is the only way to peace. Therefore, the United Nations, the Biden administration, Nana Addo Akufo, should cease their shameless manipulation of my family in Kumasi upon all their bribery to the family and their troubling of the United Kingdom, because God shall ensure justice. God bless you, and God bless my home and God. Bye bye.